Well, this is a first. It's on my channel, but I'm not hosting, kinda. So, I'm your guest, Live to Win, and here's your host, Dark Fox 47. Let me unmute you. There you go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dark, and this is Liv, and we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 8 of the Dark Live podcast. Yes, I know, maybe a little confusing. Dark, Liv, you had this on Liv's channel last time. Aren't you supposed to be alternating? Well, let me tell you a story, friends, about a window update that fucked up my computer. That has caused some problems. I'm very much hoping they could be resolved, maybe somehow by someone with any technical experience. I've done about as much as I can think to do and troubleshoot, and I'm hoping maybe some of the issues will get resolved. I have been able to find a workaround, and I can play games myself, but I tried streaming. When was that? Wednesday?
Um,
Uh,
I want to say Thursday, but maybe it was Tuesday, or, Wednesday. I forget.
it was. No, it was Tuesday. Well, would you look at that? Liv knows better than I do.
Oh, God.
I just I just look back. I don't even know when I stream. So yeah, there's that. So um I haven't gotten I've said on previous I've been saying the past little bit, I've been looking into getting a gaming computer. And I guess it could have come at a worse time, but in all honesty, I really never wanted my laptop to start having problems like this. It's always a nice backup, and also it's mobile.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's just disheartening,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really hoping that the problem can be fixed, and if it can't, well, I can't really stream any games. Um, And I'm even questioning how well I'd be able to run the podcast with the extra stuff we do. Um, so hopefully that gets resolved. And if it doesn't, well, guess I'm gonna have to get a new computer. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But yeah. So Liv, what's new with you?
Well, I officially completed Red Dead Redemption, so now I could do a spoiler cast about that, which I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do that on After Dark. I'm not gonna do it on the podcast, but yeah, I'm gonna be going into a whole bunch of spoilers, everything I liked about it, everything I don't like about it. Generalization, just I mean, it was an all around great game. I absolutely, I think my first game back was like uh, GTA San Andreas, and the whole time I just kept thinking, I just want to play Red Dead again. Oh, it was just so fun. It was just so fun. I did look up like some reviews on it after the fact, and yeah, it's pretty much some of the reviews are like pretty accurate, at least from what I've seen. Um, yeah, pretty much like 30% to the end, like you kind of have an idea at what is going to happen. But yeah, I did come across some few bugs. There was day one bugs that got patched, thank God. Of course, I also do need to point this out that I did play on a controller. I did go with free aim, and it was pretty, for the most part, it was pretty good, but there were some other, I think there were some things that I think people may have, would have called a bug on, but I think there were more mechanics than anything. I thought the horse mechanics, I thought Red Dead 1 actually did it better. Red Dead 2, there was moments to where there was like an auto control system to where all of a sudden the horse would veer away from one tree and like slam right into a rock or something, and it would send me flying, and it's like you have no control over it. And so basically the game wants you to stay on the path and just go that direction, and when you veer off track and just do it that way, it's kind of it's not the best. And near the end there, it was I was pretty much just falling over on my ass a lot. So it's one of those things to where it's terrible. It's terrible. But it didn't take away from my yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen the horse compilations.
Yeah, they
of like people freaking running into everything.
They're running into everything. They're
awesome.
Yeah, they're like. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some people that's like even trying to like make a game out of it. Like, how high could I go? How far could I fly myself? Like after running into this tree or something. So it's pretty ragdollish, and it's not that great. And even sometimes there was moments to where I think there's like this one farm in this one part of the map to where I just, as like a quick just get across the map kind of type of thing, I'll just run across this field. Well, there's a couple of fences. My horse had difficulty, and it was clipped by Josh to where my horse would just jump over, and then it would just face plant right on its face, knocking me off my horse. So it's...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Please tell me that's one of the clips you included for today.
I could easily fit that in. I didn't plan on doing it, but yeah, I could show it to you.
You brought it up. You have to show it now.
Oh, okay. Well, I put it out there, so I guess we're showing it. So yeah, the horse mechanics was pretty bad, but not enough to where it's like, oh my god, this game is so terrible. Don't play this. Yeah, it's bad, but it wasn't that bad to the point to where it was interfering with my love of the story and the gameplay and everything else. Another mechanic that I did come across, at least I think this is a mechanic. I can't confirm just because I've played the game to where I would target somebody and I would be going center mass, right at the torso. They're not turning away from me. They're looking right at me. My cursor will be right on top of the guy. I would fire and I would miss. And I think, if I had to guess, there could be grouping in the game, which, if you don't know what grouping is, that's every time you fire a shot, it's going to hit a certain area of the grouping. And the tighter the grouping, the more accurate the shot is. There's only been one game that I've ever played to where there was grouping, and that was Sleeping Dogs. Your reticle will be a square, and because it's a square, it's gonna every shot's gonna fire randomly, and it's gonna hit somewhere within that square. With Red Dead Redemption, you could change your reticle, so even though that I had a dot as like my reticle, it still would be like as if there was a square there, and I think that was the case. Because I did notice if I go into like Deadeye, all of a sudden my shots are dead accurate. But when it's not, you do notice that your character is kind of like moving around a little bit, like trying to steady their shot. And it's with a regular rifle. And so I think that was more of a mechanic thing than a glitch. But I could easily see someone's calling that a glitch. But if there is grouping in the game, then that's more of a mechanic, not a glitch. It didn't happen all the time, but there was some moments in the game to where it was like, I need to get this shot. It's critical. I gotta hit this. And it did lead into some like frustrating moments to where you need every shot to count. But luckily, most of the shots hit, and it didn't happen all the time, but it was something I did notice. So, in other words, bring a shotgun, you will not miss.
I think I remember it in the first Red Dead that unless you got really used to the free aim, that it was kind of hard to land like headshots or that. especially when moving.
Oh yeah,
Like it
especially
was,
yeah.
it
Hmm.
wasn't the easiest thing. I mean, with a pistol at least. I think I remember like using a Winchester or like, uh, oh God, what was the rifle you get? Was it an Enfield or something like
It's
that?
been so long since I last played it, and I do
Long
remember
time.
streaming it, and for some reason I'm still drawing a blank. So, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, but I think I remember the rifles being a little better for that. But the pistol was, I
Hmm.
think, especially like the stitch shooters.
Right.
Those were a little more loose.
Yeah, and and plus at the time, if I remember correctly, I think weaponry in like the 1800s weren't always that accurate anyway. So it kind of, to some degree, makes more sense that they would. I forget when they started putting grooves in the barrel, because like now today, like every gun has it to where you got grooves inside the barrel. It spirals and it makes the bullet more accurate. I do know there was a time to where it was like, well, your accuracy is based on how long the barrel was. So
Hmm.
longer the barrel, the more accurate the shot. But they,
Like
yeah,
rifled barreling's been a thing since I know in the Napoleonic Wars. Rifles like actually had that. But the thing is, with the grooving, is it's a more accurate shot, but it takes longer and is more particular with reloading. So really, only for like riflemen and marksmen they'd use that. But for just general soldiers, when you're fighting in line formation, you don't need accuracy so much as you need volume of fire.
right. And so, I mean, there was also. I also apparently ended up discovering that there was actually even like a magazine gun that I didn't know existed in like the late 1800s, and apparently it was the first one that had a magazine pistol. When I first found it, I thought this can't be the 1911 because it's not, because that's John Marston's era. This is supposed to be a prequel. Why is this in the game? And it turns out, yeah, there actually was a magazine. I forget the name of it, but it was something like I think the
The Mauser? Are you talking
M1998.
about? Are you talking about a Mauser?
Uh, no, it's
Because the Mauser
Josh
was in
looked
the
it up for me.
first game. Uh,
But the I
uh,
think the Mauser is also in it, but it wasn't a Mauser. It was something else, and it was, I think it was like a, I forget exactly what they called it, but in the game I think it was a M1998, I believe. And of course, every gun in the game is always like a replica of like a real gun. So I forget
mhm.
the actual gun, but anyway, that was like a little bit of like a history lesson that I didn't know that. And it was made by Browning. I do remember that because I'm fully aware of the Browning automatic assault rifle, and when I heard that Browning made that pistol, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. So, and I think that pistol is only for PC, if I remember
um,
correctly.
Talk about the. I'm trying to. No, that one's just called straight up the semi-automatic pistol.
Maybe we'll say in here.
Um. Oh, M1899 pistol.
Yeah, I think that's it. And I don't know the
Oh
actual
yeah,
name it's based on.
semi-automatic handgun exclusive to the PC version.
Hmm. And apparently that gun was based on a real gun. Josh looked it up and like we kind of had like a little bit of a conversation about it, and I thought that was just kind of interesting. But yeah, I came across that gun, and I mean, that was something I just didn't know. I didn't know that they still that was like one of the first magazine fed pistols, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So Yeah, and it's apparently only for the PC version, and uh, yeah, I just kind of thought that was interesting. Overall, absolutely love the game. Love the story. Uh, I mean, without going into details, I mean it's everything I wanted in a Red Dead one or a Red Dead uh, Redemption sequel or prequel in this case. Um, like it's everything I wanted. It nothing. I will say this. I'm pretty sure somebody would probably tell me, well, which one's better, Red Dead One or Red Dead Two? They're the same in my book. Red Dead Two has better graphics, but there was nothing in Red Dead Two that I would say that would make Red Dead One, make it inferior in any way. If you want more Red Dead, get two. That's basically it. So if you could get it on the cheap, I mean, go by all means. But I would probably recommend if you do have a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360, probably just stick with Red Dead 1 because you could probably get that dirt cheap. So that's what I would probably recommend. And
Also, I
yeah,
think Red Dead 1's significantly shorter than 2. Isn't 2 like a lot longer than the first game? And like the first game was really long.
um, I want to say they're kind of the same. I mean,
Are they?
I didn't feel like one was longer than the other, and plus there is main story, and then there's like small objectives that you could kind of do. There's like stuff going on at the camp, and you could do them if you want, but you don't have to do them. I did them, so because of that, it did kind of extend my gameplay. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you try and like 100%, there's plenty of stuff to do. There's still stuff I haven't done, but I wanted to complete the game and just see what it was like. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I just enjoyed myself. And it's a really good game. I don't regret purchasing it. It's everything I wanted, and I'm always open for more. So I can't wait for Red Dead 3. Uh, but for now, I'm just glad that Red Dead Redemption finally came to PC. So I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say about it. But it's been awesome.
Oh dear Lord, I just looked up on how long to beat. So Red Dead 1, main story it says 18 hours. Main story plus extras is a total of 28 hours. And it's 47 hours for completionist. Then the main story for Red Dead 2 is 46 and a half hours. The main story plus extras totals 75 and a half hours. And a completionist takes 155 hours. Story in Red Dead Redemption 2 takes as long as to do everything in the first game. And that's not doing any extras in
Right.
that is a lot of game.
Sure is.
Like, and it's an $80 game, right? That's well
Uh,
worth it.
for the US, it's 60, but I don't know what it would be in other countries. But yeah, it's a brand new game, so it's going to be that 60 $80 area for some people. Yeah, it's all I do know is I actually did track how many hours I put into the game. I think I have both for streaming and off stream total. Um, so for on stream, I have about 88 hours streamed, and then for offline and everything else, I think I did do a little bit of the online. So I actually did kind of do that offline as well, or off stream, I guess I should say. And grand total, I have like 120 hours. So it's and enjoyed every minute of it. So, and then I'll go into more detail in After Dark and just do my spoiler cast there and just go over everything.
Best keeping like as we discussed before, keeping spoiler stuff to, actually like to actual titled, like, hey, this is gonna be all spoilery
Oh
and
yeah,
such.
I'm definitely gonna let it be known that there's definitely gonna be spoilers in After Dark for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going then. I want to eventually one point play Red Dead 2.
I kind of figured that.
It's a
So
pipe dream, but someday. So anything else you wanted to bring up?
um, other stuff I did check out a little bit of. I did kind of skip it after a while, but I did end up seeing the Game Awards for 2019. So I don't know if
Oh,
you saw that.
I forgot that was happening. Yeah.
Well, it
No, I
happened, and it was like
no.
a week ago. I actually saw the rest of it last night. I kind of held it off, and I was like, "Oh wait, we got the podcast. I have to do this." So yeah, I ended up looking into it. So I don't know if you want me to go over the stuff that I came across, but
I just looked up what the winning stuff was. So what do
oh,
we
okay,
have? We have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice was Game of the Year.
yep,
Shroud was named Content Creator of the Year.
mm-hmm.
Apex Legends Multiplayer Game, I guess, of the year. Which that's pretty good. Fortnite, obviously top ongoing game. Anything else? That Death Stranding best soundtrack. I haven't heard the soundtrack to Death Stranding, so pay attention to that. Anything? League of Legends esports game. Yeah. Beat Saber for VR games.
I heard it's
That's
really
cool.
good.
Oh yeah, it looks like fun. Luigi's Mansion 3 for family game.
That was basically a
Uh,
Nintendo list. Like every game on that list was basically Nintendo.
yeah, Fire Emblem for strategy game. Uh, there's a Capcom, but is Capcom and Nintendo the same? Or like Capcom's under Nintendo?
They did Street Fighter, and you could get that on PC. So it's like they do a lot of games for Nintendo, but they don't make every game for Nintendo. If that makes sense.
Okay, so they work in part, but they're like an
They should be their own company, as far as I
so
know.
they're Nintendo's their parent company, is what you're saying. Is that
Uh,
how the relationship is?
well, uh, whenever I hear like a company is like working very closely, I mean, I don't know the full extent of the relationship, but I do know you can get Street Fighter, which is a Capcom game, on PC. So I mean, I don't know if surely they have Street Fighter on Nintendo because they have it on everywhere else. It seems like so.
Yeah. Hmm. I didn't realize the game. Did they don't? There's no game announcements at the Game Awards, right? It's all just.
Uh,
I don't remember.
there was a bunch of new releases and
Okay.
reminders. But out of all the games that I thought were interesting or to make a note of, I haven't played this game, but I'm like kind of looking forward to playing it. But I'm gonna wait to get it on a discount or whatever.
Mhm.
But Hellblade 2 is confirmed for I think next year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
So
wouldn't have expected that because Hellblade was a very specific sort of like it was a game more towards like awareness of like mental health, was it not?
uh, I think the character you play as is schizophrenic. So yeah.
Yes. So it was more towards, oh, that's super interesting that it's getting a sequel. I would personally have never thought
Well,
that a game with
it's
that sort of
confirmed.
goal. Hmm,
So
that's actually really good.
Yes, I heard a lot of good things about it. It's been on my list for a while, so I kind of really want to play the first one. But I did thought that was kind of interesting that it did get a sequel. So uh,
Was there any Halo news?
if there is, I didn't hear it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Well, actually, I think they're trying to work out some minor bugs and issues. I think. Uh, well, I shouldn't say because like it was just there was a streamer I watch and in his title he said mouse and keyboard update. So I don't know what that is, but that was for Reach, I believe. So yeah, also there was a trailer for a new game called Godfall, and it probably would have been like just thrown in with other random games that was also featured to come. But the biggest news out of Godfall, PlayStation 5 is confirmed because it's going to be a launch title for PlayStation 5. That's going to be coming out. Actually, both Xbox and PlayStation have confirmed that next year, 2020, fourth quarter holiday season, they're going to be coming out with new consoles. Of course, PlayStation 5, as I just mentioned. At the Game Awards, they actually did show the new console for Xbox.
The
And
Xbox One XXX.
they're calling it the Xbox Series X. And if you take
Of course they are.
one look at it, it's a freaking PC.
Let me look at this. Xbox Series X.
I kind of meant to send you a photo of it.
Oh my god, that's a giant block.
Yeah, looking at
Yeah,
it just looks like a freaking PC.
yeah. I was gonna ask, like, do you think consoles kind of reached a peak? Because now it seems like they kind of go a little more towards like they're going more towards PCs now than they were just like, hey, this is something different from PC. But then PC has gotten progressively technologically further ahead and actually better with gaming than just consoles, which first kind of started to diverge away from just gaming because PC was so good. That's like, well, we don't just game now, we play movies and stream stuff and da 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 da. And they added all these extra features onto it
Right.
because it couldn't just be a gaming platform anymore. But
And
now,
yeah,
looking at that, yeah, it looks like they're just going towards a more of a yeah. How? Well, that's a controller for size. I I guess it's not super wide, it's just really thick.
yeah, I could see that. But yeah, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 confirmed. So for all you console fans, there you go. Save up that money. Um and what else do we have here? Oh yeah, I saw this one game I thought was really good. I think it was Ghost of Tatsumi, I think is what it's called. Looks really good. I think it's supposed to be basically like Sekiro but open world.
Hmm.
So I thought I was hearing that there was like it's probably open world. So I thought that was kind of like interesting. And apparently the thing I learned about myself is I kind of like open world sandbox games. I mean GTA, Witcher, and yeah, so Fallout. So it's kind of like if it's open world, that's in my wheelhouse right there. So
Yeah, open world's nice, but I hate it when the game industry goes into like its ruts of doing the same kind of game over and over.
yeah,
Like I think Battle Royale has kind of died down a bit about because like when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is great, but then it just was just Battle Royale, Battle Royale, Battle Royale, and I'm like, I'm so fucking sick of Battle Royale.
well, everyone's sick of battle royale because there's nothing new, and the only reason why Fortnite's so popular is because they set a new standard for BR games, and that is update your shit. And some people just haven't done that. They just throw it out there, hey, give us money, and then it's like you kind of need to update it. So that's the reason why Fortnite's so popular is because it's the only BR that gets updated. So
Also, it's free.
and it's free, so it doesn't cost you a dime. So it's yeah, that's the reason why everyone talks about it. But me, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I do know there are people that out there that are into it. So I mean, it's just not for me. So I mean, you can have fun, but it's yeah, it's just not my game.
Yeah, it's okay, but I definitely I just can't do the whole build and shoot and thing, and I
Yeah,
see people do it, and I'm like, that's just one thing that like I could never actually win
and I think
in any of those fights.
yeah, I know it's, and I think I even heard from like from Shroud and people like that to where it's like these guys are pro gamers and they said it themselves. Fortnite is not a game of shooting; it's a game of building. If you can
There's build
outbuild
mode.
somebody, you could win. So
Yeah, that's what it's devolved into, yeah. Or evolved, I'm not sure. It's not like it had great standards in the first place.
yeah, other than that, I think that's everything that I kind of caught. There was other updates for games, but they kind of I don't really like reporting on games to where it's like they just showed like half a trailer with no gameplay and it's like, well, how am I supposed to say, hey, check out this trailer, I guess? Like it's CGI. So,
Yeah, where it's like rendered in the game engine. I'm like, yeah, but we want to see gameplay though. Like, just
yeah.
you can make the cinematic look as great as you want. They could do that freaking back in the freaking 90s too.
Mhm.
It always looks better. Is because they can put that extra effort into it. But it's just like, please, just show gameplay.
And that's the thing,
Like,
so I don't know.
if it's like the first trailer for it, if it's like a teaser trailer, because normally gameplay stuff isn't actually smoothed out till a lot later in development.
Right.
So when it's first announced, I can understand it. But once you start to get a lot more high profile, then it's yeah, you need to actually include gameplay.
Yeah, so because of that, I kind of scrubbed the rest of the games that was out there because like I mean if you because like even the Ghost of Tsushima like it looks good but for the most part it was kind of just like a CGI trailer so like I let that one pass because I was like the one I was like most interested in but um well actually now that I think about it I think even Hellblade was even CGI now that I think about it but uh because I actually was somewhat familiar with Hellblade, like I mean, yeah, so yeah, there was like a lot of CGI trailers, so I mean, take your pick on which one that you thought looked the best or what had most interest in, but for me those were the two that stood out for me. And of course the new consoles next year and there you go. That's pretty much all I have from the Game Awards. Unless you, of course, want to actually roll down like all the winners of the Game Awards.
Well, I just kind of skimmed
Skimmed
over it, and
over
I'm
it.
like,
Yep.
oh, there's all the ones I care about. Like, if you, well, like I don't know what everyone cares about, but
That actually does kind of remind me a little bit. What do you think about doing a podcast for like specifically for like Game Awards and like that kind of stuff, that kind of type of stuff in the future?
How do you mean? Like we have like we do like
Either,
other.
well, because we can do it like two ways. We could either like get together live, as it's all happening, and like kind of like restream it, get our takes on it in real time, or we could pick a date to where it's like we could kind of like, I guess, either watch it on our own time or basically get like our bullet points down and kind of give our take on like the whole rundown of like the Game Awards and what have you, E3s, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that we should look into that. Yeah, that actually sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I just didn't know like which route we should probably go because like time wise, obviously, just picking a day and just be like, hey, get your bullet points down. We'll watch it on our own time. That would probably be the best route, but to some degree, I kind of would like to watch it live and just like restream it and like
Yeah,
you know,
fuck it, we're doing it live.
yeah, exactly. So it was just something I just kind of like thought of. It was also kind of like something like with holidays or like around the corner. Like, should we do like a holiday special for that, or you know? But but I mean, I guess you could take or leave holidays, but like, I think like Game Awards or E3s, I think that's kind of like a little more like what I think we should maybe be doing, and so I kind of thought that was like something I kind of wanted to like bring up as I did. So
No, I think that'd be a great idea. We should at least try to do that.
yeah. But anyway, that's all I got from Game Awards for the most part.
Yeah, I didn't even know they happened. Uh,
Yeah, it kind of came and gone. Like I said, I saw the rest of it last night, and I was like, I had like a full week to like look at it, and I just kept holding off, and then I was like, oh crap, we got the freaking podcast tomorrow. Okay, I have to see the rest. So I saw the rest, and yeah. So and plus, I kind of skipped a little bit over like I was like seeing like a restream of it, and you could clearly see like where the commercials were going to. So like anytime when it came across the commercial part, I just skipped over that. So
mm.
but yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
All right, so I guess we can um we could I'm trying to think. I don't think any real. Oh, the new loyalty point thing. What do you think of that? The one that Twitch just rolled out.
I actually didn't know they were gonna roll that out for like affiliates and everyone else. Like I didn't think that was actually gonna be a thing. So yeah, that kind of surprised me, and I kind of went through everything, and I kind of like it. It's kind of awesome. It gives a chat a little bit of a way to kind of have fun. I actually really do love it, just simply because I do know there's people that want to sub to my channel, but they can't. So, but you could still use my emotes. So I kind of love that idea, and so I kind of went through, and I think the lowest amount of points you could go with, I think, is 80. So I just anything emote stuff, I just all mark that down to 80 because I want chat to have fun and just enjoy themselves. So yeah, I went ahead and did that. So yeah, so that way people can have fun with emotes. Of course, have no way of like testing out myself, but I am only assuming you could probably just do the tier 1 emotes, which
Yes, it does seem like you can only do the tier 1 emotes, which I'll be honest makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does make
Like
sense.
we're thinking we'll think of it as like we only have one normal emote slot for
Hmm.
like, but most like affiliates get what, a minimum of 10 or something. It's they get a lot, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all based on your sub count. I think someone like JoJo, I think I actually don't know how many subs he has, but apparently he has enough subs to where he has additional tier 1 subs, so
Mhm.
emote slots, I mean. So,
Yeah, I know that. Well, you and me probably are at the same level where we haven't
mhm,
unlocked an emote slot. So for like the first emote slot, you need 15 sub points, which either equals like 15 tier 1 subs or like 5 tier 3 subs or some mix of all of those, because each tier equates to a point. So tier 1, 1 point, tier 2, 2 points.
right.
We've talked about this before, I believe.
I don't
Um,
recall, but we probably did.
I think so. I think because you were confused on it, and I explained it to you. I think that was on a podcast, actually. I don't know. People watch it probably have better things. So I'm curious, why did you call your points facts?
Because I wanted to see how many times people give fucks for something. So we can't call them fucks because that's obviously bannable. So what's the next closest thing? Let's go with facts. There you go. So
Ah.
how many fucks or excuse me facts do you give?
Oh, that's great. I just called mine Foxcoin.
My other option
Gotta
was
mine some Foxcoins.
my other
Den's full of them.
option. My other option was going with something to do with poker chips because I have like the whole Ace of Spades thing going, so I thought maybe do something with poker chips. Like I don't know, call them chips, call them gambling chips. I don't know, but that was my other option. But I went with facts because who gives a fact?
That's great. Now that I know the story behind it, that's great. And I've noticed, I think only like the unlock and emote only lasts for like the stream, I believe, or at least 24-hour period.
Oh, really?
Because I had to do it again, which makes sense because again,
Yeah,
points are just you watch and you get them, and it makes sense. Like unlocking emotes permanently isn't really fair, considering they're supposed to be something that's a paid for privilege.
right.
Not that, people who don't sub to us, I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's
um, Joking. Totally joking.
yeah, it's something that I'm kind of glad that they did, so that way people that don't sub get a chance, and so I don't know. I like it. It's something that should have been in Twitch. I think a long time ago. I don't know if it's true or not, but I thought I heard the whole point system thing may have been a Mixer thing, and Twitch just adapted it.
That wouldn't surprise me.
So
That wouldn't surprise me. But that's also a great thing that Twitch, if that's true, that means Twitch is actually paying attention and Mixer's actually like
yeah, but
pushing
I
Twitch to do some stuff.
and then I know for a fact that there's also people like JoJo, and I think even Beecroft also does it too, to where they have like a point system in their chat. It's like integrated to where
Oh yeah, with the bots you can do
yeah,
that. Yeah, that was like the original sort of like loyalty points, and I know you could set up like gambling with them, as I constantly lose all of my points in Lucky streams whenever he does. Lose all of them because screw my luck, am I right? um, but yeah, these are a lot. like simpler because I've never really figured out loyalty points,
Hmm.
except like Jinko. I had mod. He had Jinko bot for a while. Um, I don't know whatever happened to Jinko bot. It just disappeared. I think he took it out back and shot it at some point. Uh, but it had loyalty points, I think, at one for a short amount of time before it just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth.
I don't know if it's related, but I thought I heard there was actually like a particular bot that was like kind of like being ran and like programmed, I guess, and I thought I heard it got like completely taken down. I don't know the full story on that, and it's been like over I think a year or so, so I don't know like the full extent of it, but I thought I heard there was like a particular stream bot of some kind that apparently just they just discontinued it. They didn't want to continue on, so they just found it easier to just let it go and just let it die. So I don't know if that's like any related to it, but
I don't know. Possibly. That wouldn't surprise me.
because I don't know if it's like a case to where like
Uh,
you could rename the bot and like it's basically the same kind of type of bot, but it's like you just renamed it and
yeah,
so.
I know there are bots you can rename, which makes it a pain in the ass trying to figure out what the hell the bots are people are using.
Mm-hmm.
I just use Nightbot because I'm a basic beach. Uh, and it's just simple. Though I
Yep.
think
Same.
Streamlabs actually has a bot that's easier to use. I believe so. Streamlabs.
Yeah, Streamlabs has a bot, but I didn't activate it, and also I think there's also was there a Wise bot maybe? I think there was a Wise bot, and
I
I
don't
think there's
know.
also Stream Elements as well.
Cloud bot? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Streamlabs Cloud Bot is a chat box that provides entertainment and moderation features for your stream. Cool.
And I think Cloudbot's basically just
Oh
Nightbot.
yeah. It has, what does it have? Commands, timers, quotes, queues, loyalty, store, polls, betting, giveaways. Oh yeah. Oh, interesting. I've never actually taken 2 seconds to look into this, at least recently. Merch. Giveaway merch. Give away that sweet Streamlabs merch where I'll just take my profile picture and I'll just put it on a mug. Be like, there, enjoy my off-center picture on a mug. Champagne about it as I am. Though I guess it wouldn't really matter uh, if it was on the mug because it's not, or make it wouldn't matter as much. I don't think unless it's cropped. No, I'm can. It's 100% you can see it's off center
Yeah,
from the middle of the picture. But, I just ignore it.
and plus that
Yeah,
was my first draft, so
it was, and it was a fantastic first draft. I fell in love with it. So perfect. It was what I didn't know I wanted, but asked for. What I
yeah,
want. This is sort of vaguely what I want, and you gave me that, and I'm like, yes! There we go.
yeah, they were a lot of fun to create for sure.
Yeah, so, we could go, we're about an hour in, so we should do our clip break, and then
Okay,
we can get on to the next topic of business, or the rest of it.
I just need to get my horse clip. Where is that?
Alright, there's all my clippos.
I think I came across one particular clip. I think I'm gonna pass. I thought it was funny, but I realized it's from a game that Dark wants to check out, so I'm probably just gonna skip that.
Oh, is it from Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's basically the opener to like a boss fight, and maybe it's a character that you probably look familiar or are familiar with, so maybe I thought, yeah, skip that.
Oh, that's very nice of you. That is a very good call.
Yeah,
And
so
for
I'm
anyone who
gonna.
posts stuff, boss fights, please just be careful.
There it is. Karma. Alright, this is the horse one. I still need to get my other ones ready, but I do have... This is the one I was talking about with the horse mechanics. So, like I was saying earlier with Red Dead Redemption, there's just terrible horse mechanics, and out of all of them, this is probably the one I just hate the most. Just simply because it should be easy. You know, you just jump over this little fence. Well, you try and jump over a fence, and this is what happens. Let me just make sure I get everything down the way I want. Okay, so we got audio. We have picture here. Where's my stuff? There it is. So, 1 second here.
Alright.
I yearn for the days of when I had like perfect audio. I don't have to worry about it. 2 PC setup. Audio is just a bitch. So, but anyway. Okay. Here we go. I'm not trying to kill innocent people. I was just trying to steal someone else's campfire, so that way I could cook up my freaking fish. Oh God. You okay? Come on, girl.
What?
Apparently trying to jump at an angle doesn't always work. Let's try that again. There you go. That's definitely karma, that's for damn sure. Yeah. So, there you go. That's the goddamn freaking thing for you. It's
Yeah. Yep, good old horse mechanics in Red Dead 2. I look forward to them.
I think
And also
there was
I'll be on the
worser
ground a lot.
ones than that, but that was the one that Josh clips. So now I gotta find my other clips and make sure that I skip over the spoilery one. Yeah, skip that one. I guess we could play my... Okay, to some degree, I do want to point this out. I actually do have 2 clips of this. One short, which is the one I'm going to be playing. But I just want to point this out. Maybe I should explain afterwards. I'll explain afterwards. So again, this is me when I was playing GTA San Andreas, and I kind of had an incident. So let's go ahead and play this.
Fat man got a gun, bitch. You wanna roll with me?
What the?
What you doing, CJ? You know where you at, fool?
What's this? What just happened? I just thought that was the most funniest thing ever.
That was great.
Here's the funny part. I have a longer clip of the same thing. The guy that steals the car is in frame the entire time. That is, if I played like a longer version of this, after I settle down and stop laughing, there is a moment to where I was like, wait a second. It dawned on me. Was that guy in frame the entire time? Please tell me the guy was in frame. So after my stream, I looked it up, and sure enough, the guy was in frame the entire time. So you slowly see this guy walk over to the car, steal it, and then that happens. And I thought that was glorious, glorious.
Well, the game blames you because it's not programmed for that.
It was
like, hey,
it was so good.
Failed. Get him. Mission failed. We'll get him next.
And I just started that mission. Because the mission starts, you immediately spawn outside the house, and then you gotta recruit some guys. That was one of my first recruits, and he gets ran over. That was just beautiful. Beautiful. I guess we could go ahead and play this. It's, I forget which one this one is. I just grabbed a bunch of Sheriff Eli. I thought Sheriff Eli is just funny. I like him. I think there's some stuff that he does, but I forget which ones. But I got to be careful with these next time because I think there might be some that have a song in it. So if you ever do happen to get your PC fixed or whatever, I got to be careful not to send you those ones because copyright.
Yeah.
So anyway, but here's Sheriff Eli.
Keeping up, starting to do that dance where they kick their legs out to the side with the L, and make the L with their hand. Grandpa's like,
Reaper 2-5, this is Big Gam Cam, come in, over.
And a goddamn gunship comes right over the fucking mountain, and it blows that fucking kid away. Blows him away. Destroys him. Uninstalls the game. Grandpa lives on. Yeah, Danielson, a fucking A10. I'm down, man.
Wasn't that funny, but I thought it was alright.
It was amusing.
Just him and his ramblings. I love it. I think I may have another one. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do this. Alright, this is my last one. Last one for me. Oh, yes. Okay, this was one of the ones that actually does have a song. Now, luckily, I'm uploading to YouTube as well, so it's actually... This is completely fine. I'm just gonna get copyright flagged. Otherwise, I will try and mute the audio if I can and just work with it. Anyway, here's another clip from Sheriff Eli. I thought this one was really funny.
In addition, if your Cam or Cam happens to be enrolled in the EA Sports PvP RD program, buy loot boxes for Cam and Cam. Help keep them around until next Christmas. Loot box 1, the Assassin Package.
Oh, I want
5
that.
level 6 body armor and a 7.62 minigun.
Ooh.
Help Grandpa mow him down just like he does in his dreams. In PvP RD. The last thing you want is for a 10-year-old boy to be standing on top of Grandpa doing some fucked up Fortnite dance.
Fucking nightmare.
Don't hesitate. Arm your grandparents or your maximum security pen pal. EA Sports, makers of EA PvP RD.
Yep, that's it. That's the one.
I just thought that was so hilarious.
Everything. I thought it was in the game, but esports, right?
I know, right? I just thought it was funny, the little subtlety. He's gonna do some kind of type of fucked up Fortnite dance. Oh my god, it's a nightmare.
That was great. I love the Papa Roach that was going on in the background too.
Oh yeah, Papa Roach.
That was good too.
They're all right. They're all right for sure. All right, that's it for me. Let's see what Dark has here.
See what I have. Yep. Bring what I submit. I'm not.
Huh, that's weird.
Is there a problem?
I'm somehow getting this message. I might have to expand this. This is the message that I'm getting over here. Like, I typed in your copied and paste, and this is kind of what I'm getting over here. Like, this is what it's saying. Message : this clip's routed to dedicated. So instead of the clip, I'm just getting this message.
Is that the first one?
That's the first one.
Perfectly fine for me. I just clicked into it. Try
Right.
again?
Yeah, I could try it again, but at first I was like waiting for the clip to show up, and then I was like, it kind of didn't, so I kind of already redid it, but I could try it again. Maybe I did it wrong. Never mind, we're good. We're good.
Said something.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
All good.
Alright, here we go. Dark's first clip.
Said something about being a Cinnabon driver. He should have this.
Oh my god.
Hans!
Oh my god.
Don't ruin Christmas. Follow Gomer. He knows the way.
Close.
Gomer knows the way. Follow him.
You take the lead. I don't know where we're going.
Good one.
All right.
Wow.
That's fine. We can do this.
I know the way. I know the way. See?
All right. Said something about being a Cinnabon driver. He should have this.
Oh my god.
Hans!
Oh my god.
Don't.
Nice.
It's just like, yeah, follow go. Burrito's the way. You guys take the lead. I have no idea where we're going.
Alright, second clip.
For your interest.
Oh. Oh.
That will be $10,000. Thank you for your interest.
Okay, that's pretty good. The little subtleties, I'm loving it. Is the immediate explosion. Person gets out of the car, immediately catches fire. Music stops. That would be $10,000. Nice.
Yeah, that was just I clipped that too. That's my clip. Also, and other people clipped it too, but I actually clipped something. Yay. Clips. But yeah, that was just too perfect. I was like, oh my god.
Alright. Here's another.
What do you mean? What's the hold up, lady? You're okay.
Wow.
What do you think? Wow, rude, showing the middle finger. What the fuck? Oh no!
Let's see. Oh no. Oh
We have
Let's
1,
see.
2, 3.
Goddamn Sunday drivers.
Yeah. I actually am just realizing how many explosion clips there are now. I think there's one more. There's another one with explosions. There's a lot of cars blowing up.
Michael Bay should never find out.
Yeah.
Alright. Full screen. Bam. And bam.
Hello. Every year, millions of children go without White Claws in their fridge of legal age. You could be the difference and fill not only their fridges, but also their hearts. What do you say? Would you like to be the difference? Would you like to be the change? If so, please transfer some money into 272 at your local bank. You could be the difference. You could be the change. If you'd like to make a donation now, press 2.
I'm gonna hang up.
If you'd like to make a donation, please hang up.
Okay, alright, hold on.
Yeah. It's like-
That is a constant limbo. That is just the worst.
If you'd like to make a donation, please hang up. Okay, hold on a second. Something's not right here.
Get out of my car, Kiki! Get out of my goddamn car! Get out of my car, Kiki! Get out of my car, Kiki! What the fuck?
Oh no! Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh no! What the fuck? Oh no!
I think they added that. The last time I played GTA 5, I don't think you could have put gasoline on cars.
I'm trying to remember. Maybe it is a newer thing. I think I'm remembering some earlier times, maybe Achievement Hunter. I know Achievement Hunters put gasoline all over cars, but I think there were some early times where it wouldn't work.
Because there's like one particular heist to where you got to set fire to a car, and it seemed like I remember getting on top of it, trying to like douse it with gas, because I figured, well, that would be like the most direct approach, is getting on top of it, and it couldn't go. So when I saw that, I was like, wait a second, I think that I think that was added, so
Yeah, that might be a new feature.
sounds like something they should have probably put long time ago in the game, but yeah, so that's actually kind of news to me.
Yeah.
But that was still funny, though. That was still funny.
Yeah, like I said, surprising amount of car explosions. I just realized.
Alright, this is the last one.
Ho, ho, ho! It's Santa Claus!
What?
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Oh,
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. On the coast, coming the road, on the sleigh. Oh, la, 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 la. I love cookies.
oh God!
Oh, come to the window side. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho!
Oh, Santa! Oh, wait, is that Santa, Grandpa? What is that?
Yes, I told you I know Santa Claus. We used to go to school together.
Oh,
Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho!
are you crying, Santa?
I came across that clip too.
Uh, Yeah, I watched that whole thing live. That was freaking like 20 minutes or so. It was like a good amount of time freaking having the scammer pretend to be Santa.
Yeah, I think I came
It was
across
just
that.
fucking gold.
Yeah, I think I came across that, and I think I was debating on going with it, but it's just a lot of the jokes with Kit Boga is like, it's really like the real meat of the joke is kind of like stretched out, so it's really kind of hard to get like a good 1 minute clip to where like it really grabs like the attention of like the joke that is going on. So
yeah, thankfully this was one of those moments.
yeah,
though.
this was definitely one of those to where it did, yeah. Seeing Kit just kind of like lose it a little bit, that was
I think everyone watching lost it. Like it was just
yeah.
he just went for it. He just went 0 to 100.
Yeah, that was a good one. I think that's all of them, but oh my god, those were some good clips.
That was a good one. Okay, so now let's spacing's gone because we were worried about like his Liv's not really gonna have much to talk about. Today's special Star Wars topic, because Rise of Skywalker premiered a couple days ago. Though all the posters said the 20th, but apparently it aired in theaters in the 19th. And I saw it, the first showing in my city. I saw it opening night. And because it's literally been out for not even 3 whole days at this point, I'm not going to say anything spoilery. Absolutely nothing. I won't even. I'll try and even refrain from just saying anything specific because I'm like, it was in the trailers, but I don't want to accidentally say more than that because some of the stuff in the trailers was just more like, we're not entirely sure, but it looks like it's that way. So I don't want to ruin that for anyone. Because I enjoyed it. I'll say it right now. I enjoyed the movie. There were a couple things that maybe like in the future, on a future stream or podcast, where I'll be able to actually feel comfortable. Like, okay, it's been out long enough. I could talk a little more about it. But there were a couple things in the movie that I was like, well, kind of sucks they didn't go more into that. But overall, I thought it was a decent movie. It was good. Definitely, in my opinion. Now, there's some people I don't understand. Like wow. Some people are like, wow, I can't believe it. They made a movie worse than episode 8. It's like, no, no, they didn't. I don't know how. So I just say just if you're thinking about watching the movie, um, don't just see it for yourself. Go in without um spoilers, or try not to get other people to sort of sway your opinion. I thought it was I thought it was a good movie. I keep switching between decent and good. Yeah, they're for me they're about they're closer than to what other people those two words would be. So I got to be careful how I use those. But for the end of the whole Skywalker saga, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, there were a lot of surprises and twists. Interesting concepts that some things that were said that, again, I'm not going to say anything. I'm keeping it super vague, and this will no way really spoil things, but there were some things that were said in the movie that I'm curious if they meant literally or figuratively, which could have, if they meant it literally, could have some really super interesting implications for certain aspects of the universe. Is all I'm going to say. I feel like saying that isn't really that could literally be anything. But yeah, it was good. I recommend seeing it for yourself. I'll be curious to he goes forward in the franchise, because now that the main movies are done, the kind of embargo and the now they could focus on actual other stuff in the movie, and they can also actually touch any of the area in significant amounts that happens between 6 and 7, and stuff like that. It opens up a lot, which is going to be super interesting, or so I hope. Even in the expanded universe and Disney, Star Wars storylines, they're hit and miss. Some are good, some are eh, some are just all right, why? But yeah, give the one criticism of the Disney trilogy is it does, as really a lot of people could see just by watching the movies, it lacks a cohesion, because it was J.J. Abrams that made the first one. He set all this stuff up. Then Rian Johnson's like, I'm just going to go. Hello, that Scottish guy. No spoilers on episode 9, just in case you're wondering, because I'm talking about it. But yeah, just having the thing is, they did the trilogy, and they were going to have what was originally, there were 3 different directors for each movie, and that's a really shitty way to do a trilogy, because they're all supposed to, into this one thing, and just having 3, in this one, it was Rian Johnson. No, it was J.J. Abrams. Then Rian Johnson did his own thing, and then J.J. Abrams kind of just he did what he wanted to do. Planned, I guess his vision was when he ended the first movie, and he kind of was just I'm gonna still do my own thing for it turned out fine, but yeah, the whole thing could have done better if they actually had like either one, an actual strict guidelines for the directors to follow, which I don't feel like Disney had, or two, they just had the same director work on all three movies, like just some kind of consistency. Yeah, but that's kind of getting into actually anything more than just surface level feelings on the movie. It's really all I can say. But yeah, it was all right. So Liv, I know you don't like. I'm not sure how to deal with this next part because I thought at least Liv had watched one of the movies.
Nope.
Turns out that was incorrect. Liv, what do you know about Star Wars?
Luke is the father. Basically, it's very limited. I mean, yeah, there's the Luke on your father scene. Like, I think I have heard the Imperial March song before, I believe. It's really limited. I don't know too much of the characters. I do know that Harrison Ford's in it. I do know Mark Hamill's in it. But beyond that, it's kind of like very limited. So.
Yeah, man, as I was saying, I was kind of being tongue twisters that aren't tongue twisters, just me talking, like my brain's going faster than I'm talking, so I get tripped up. Yeah, I'm looking at what I have written down. It's like knowledge of the subject. Well, shit. I was expecting favorite movie. You know, I've always said this. Episode 5 still is my favorite movie. Episode 9 again till I've seen it. Like, there was a lot to it, and I feel like I need to see it like once or twice more before I can like get a solid sort of feel of where it would fall with the rest of the movies. But yeah. I wrote the script or the outline for this one, and I wrote under Star Wars episode topics. Dark Fox goes off on EU lore or some shit.
I saw that.
I was just like, hey, because I wasn't really sure. Wasn't sure how much Liv actually knew, which I should have asked, but you know, what it like in movies and TV shows where if they just asked the person, they would stop an entire convoluted plot line. You know, why do that in real life? Um, I wanted to talk more about. Well, I'm just curious, Liv. I guess because we've got the time and I've opened up this subject. Is there anything like weird way to phrase this? Anything about Star Wars you'd like me to like? That you think is, I don't know. I was gonna say like anything you do you or you want me to touch on that you're interested in a concept about it, or but I don't know how well that question would go since you haven't actually watched any of it.
Yeah, and that's kind of basically like where the blank kind of comes in, to where it's like, what area do I talk about when I don't even really know the concept, and like, it's I mean, you got good guys and bad guys, and like beyond that, it's like, you know, I don't know anything other than that. Like, I mean, obviously you got your heroes and your villains, so it's like I don't know, like, vaguely like who the characters are like supposed to be like based on, if we had to like use like a down to earth analogy or something like that, and I don't know, I don't even know if that's even relevant, because like, you know, maybe there's like bounty hunters, but you know, all I just see is lightsabers, so it's like, you know, maybe there is bounty hunters, but you know, I wouldn't know that.
There's an entire guild.
Oh really? So yeah, like,
yep. Operate outside of the guild too, but there is a guild of bounty hunters.
But like, you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like I don't know where to touch up on, because like I don't know like where to even start, because like, you know, you at that point you're basically just gonna have to like tell me the entire story, you know, in a short form, and it's like, well, maybe if that's interesting, maybe expand on that. And so like, yeah, it's like a whole case of like I don't know where to start, and yeah, this is not my area of expertise, so like I think I did, I don't know if you heard me or not, or maybe you tuned out, but I thought I did suggest maybe bring on like JoJo or Lucky, because I know they would be more heavily influenced in this topic, and they would easily be able to bounce off ideas off of, and you know, have a conversation. But sadly, kind of like with you and wrestling, you know, we just don't mix. So in this kind of type of area, so this is just,
yeah,
this is not my area, so I don't know where to begin. So it's, yeah, I
thought this topic out well. Now, thankfully, like, actually was like, well, hopefully the introduction will go long. We did the first hour just talking about that whole Game Awards thing. That was a nice little surprise. I didn't realize that happened.
I almost forgot too, man. So like, I'm kind of in that same boat. So, and I just pushed myself the other day to like, just, you gotta see it. So
yeah. So I guess we could, do an actual like discussion of more, I guess, a Star Wars discussion if we have like other people on. Who
yeah,
know
this is definitely something I would recommend that you have somebody else kind of help you, you know, have like a actual discussion, because I mean, to be honest, like I'm not surprised that this kind of happened, but at the same time, like I kind of felt like I expressed like my love and passion for video games and wrestling multiple times on this podcast. So the fact that because the reason why I wasn't outright against this is this was going to happen eventually. Like you're eventually going to have to talk about Star Wars at some point.
Yeah,
and
we will at some point.
And like, so like I knew this was going to happen. I just didn't know that, you know, this was actually going to be like the actual day. And like, because I thought maybe Dark would have someone prepared to like come on and like talk about it. So I mean, like, this is,
yeah, that would have been smart, but I've been a little scatterbrained the last little bit. So yeah, I thought of that last night. I'm like, well, it's a little late to do that.
Yep. So yeah, it's just nature of the beast, and it's and like I'm still completely fine with Dark going through with this whole Star Wars thing, because I've been in that position to where I really want to talk about something, and I felt like, at least with me anyway, I talked about it enough to where like I got my point across, and now I could, and because it's a short burst, I could pull back. So and this is just a simple case to where it's like, you really want to talk about something because you just saw the movie, and I completely and I completely like understand like where you're coming from. So obviously you want to talk about it, and plus you just saw it, so it's all fresh in your memory. You want to like let it out, but you kind of don't have someone there to like really like help you, and like, you know, like you could like get that confirmation that, you know, like this scene was like really awesome, and like why it's really awesome, and like why this scene like mattered, why this was important, so on and so forth. So like it's a case to where, you know, I kind of want Dark to be able to like, you know, do this on an occasion to where he, you know, just becomes a fan and just like wants to talk about something. So I'm completely fine with this. It's just the execution was a little off today, so sadly this is where we're at. So
yeah, let's salvage this a little bit. So I just actually learned this today while I was chatting with Dad, and then I saw like, so do you know like Jesse Cox? Like he was on the Co-optional podcast.
Jesse Cox, I don't think so.
I just said Co-optional podcast because like Total Biscuit ran that, didn't he?
Not familiar.
Okay, well, I thought I'd give it a shot. Anyway, so he started doing a Star Wars role play because he's done D&D before, and there's Star Wars D&D, and I was like, oh, cool. And I like replayed. I was like thinking about it and talking to Dad, and I was like, oh, I wonder. He said what the name of the guide was, so I went back to the video, went back to the first 10 minutes, and got the name of it, and I looked it up on the internet, and there's actually, I don't know if it's the full thing. I saw like at least 100 pages of the actual guide in PDF form, free online.
And
I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. Because I've always wanted to do D&D, and then I found out there's actually Star Wars D&D. I was like, what? It's like the two things, like something I love a lot. It's something I've wanted to get into, like meshed into one. I was like, that's super cool. But then I run into the same problem where I want to do D&D, but I don't have anyone to do that.
Yep. Again,
yeah, I don't have to do regular D&D, and Star Wars D&D would be like a little more niche. And one of my friend group qualified to be the DM for that, and I'm not sure how well I do as a DM. I mean, I know you get to play like the saddest thing is like being a DM. I'd be like, you don't get your own character, but you do get to play everyone else. But I don't know. I feel like there's just playing all the NPCs versus just playing like your one character and getting really into it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's more appealing to do the one character,
right,
and just get invested in sort of that. They do a bunch of possibly throwaway ones. But, you know, I've never actually tried it before, so. I don't know. Maybe one day, D&D stuff. Cause I gotta actually talk to Lucky about that, because ever since he mentioned that, I was like, I'm gonna ask you about that. He's like, yeah, shoot me a message. I never did. Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah, I noticed he was streaming the other day.
I know. It was like, I got the note. I looked at my phone, like, oh, he went live an hour ago. Went on, he wasn't on. I was like, oh, well, that was a short stream. I was like, oh, I'll miss him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was something exciting. Hey, we got to talk about a couple Star Wars things that were interesting. I don't know if I'd ever actually, like, just the fact that the guide was like, oh shit, here's the PDF online for free. I was like, this is plausible. Entirely plausible. But yeah. So to continue with did I make the Star Wars Holiday Special joke? I don't think I did. I wanted to. I want to make a Star Wars Holiday Special because that fucking sucked. It was the first thing Boba Fett appeared in. and it's garbage. It is just, I think it's, I wonder if you can find it on YouTube. Star Wars Holiday Special. It does. I actually don't remember. Special 1978 nice copy. I don't remember it. Blessing. I think a lot of people would envy me for not remembering it. I remember Boba Fett. The very bad cartoon colored Boba Fett. That's it. But yeah. I was gonna make a holiday Star Wars holiday special about that because it's the holidays and it was supposed to be a Star Wars special. Anyway, on to artists of the week or music of the week. I don't know. I just copied the last script and just changed things in it. Typos carry over. So this week, in honor of Star Wars, I debated between. I was like, do we do the Star Wars soundtrack or I do Weird Al Yankovic and I make sure to include the 2 Star Wars parodies he did? And then I'm like, I'll do Weird Al Yankovic another time. So, Star Wars soundtrack done by John Williams, a absolute god of soundtrack. And he does, I think he's done the scores for he's done all of them or almost all of the scores for every single Star Wars, all of them for the movies. And I think for almost every single game of them, he's done the scores for everything. He is an absolute legend for just the, what do you call that? Like a name for like the people who make the soundtracks. What is the name for it? I'm looking. Composer. Yeah. Film composer. That's it. So doubt 4 of the songs. Some of the more iconic plus ones I remembered and some of my favorites, obviously. Like the Imperial March, I think everyone's probably heard at least once, maybe. I tried to make ones from different movies too. There's like 9 movies. I was picking 4. It was like Imperial March, that's from this is all available where we don't play the music on stream. We also definitely can't play this music because Disney will take our asses off the air.
That's what they do.
It's what they do. So that's all on the YouTube playlist that Liv put together. It's been lovingly taken care of. So we got the Imperial March. That debuted episode 5. Duel of Fates. That's from episode 1. Probably the only thing people can agree on was good about episode 1 was that one song. The Emperor's Theme. That's from episode 6, which takes a little bit from the Imperial March and does some. I love the kind of haunting ambiance of like the second half of it. That's like one thing that sticks out in my head is that haunting ambience in the last bit of that. And then Princess Leia's theme, that's from episode 4. That's also a memorable one and a good score. Like, really, everything John Williams does, like, is fantastic. He gives it his all, and it just makes the movie so much better. Like, Star Wars wouldn't be... I'd say Star Wars wouldn't be as Star Wars without John Williams and his exceptional talent. So, Liv, what'd you think?
Basically, I really kind of hate doing takes on scores. Not so much that it's a case of to where like I didn't like the music or something. It was it's really more of like a case like the scores are really there to like really set up a scene, and I kind of feel like not being able to like see what's going on, I kind of feel like I'm kind of like given like a false take on it, just because like I'm kind of like seeing like one half of the coin, and I kind of feel like maybe I could get a better judgment if I could see the other half. So sadly, just going based on the sound, like I have heard scores to where I really liked the game or the movie, but I didn't really like the score that much. In this particular case, I just kind of I really have no opinion, but I did write down some notes. The Imperial March, I mean, it's a good heel song. So like if you have like a good villain, it's like if you have a good, strong, powerful heel character, like that's obviously really good for that. And Duel of Fates, I think I wrote down that what is it? It sounds like the gods themselves are talking, because like they're gonna about to speak, and this song will that particular score will like kind of like help set up that. And then what is it? Empire's theme. I kind of felt like it's like a good song if you were trying to steal the Hope Diamond. It's kind of has like a lot of tension, a lot of suspense. And then Princess Leia's theme. Whoever was on that flute really was playing it very loudly, at least in the version that I was hearing. And like that's pretty much it that I kind of like have down for it. I kind of hate doing my take on scores, because they're kind of there to like really set up like scenes and characters, and because of that I kind of really don't have like a good or a bad opinion on it. In this particular case, it's just I honestly don't have any opinion. But I mean, if I were to say so, I'm like, those are my notes, and that's kind of what I said. So I mean, I guess if I were to like something, the only one out of all these songs that I heard, obviously Imperial March, it demands attention. So like I guess if I liked one, that would probably be my favorite. But it's, again, I just kind of hate doing takes on scores, because they are setting up scenes and stuff. And I think if it were to a movie that I did like, I would still probably say the exact same thing that I'm saying now. And like I said, there's games and movies that I've heard, that I've played or seen, and I actually really do love them. And I thought I would like the score as well, probably. And I guess because I was thinking of something else or what have you, and I just kind of didn't really like it that much. So I kind of don't really have too much to say on this particular on John Williams. So, but obviously there was a lot of love and care done for the music, and so I guess on like a artist level, I really did appreciate that. And I think this is also the first time that we did a take on an orchestra. So obviously I do like to see like different changes and different styles of music, and obviously orchestras not my top level of like expertise, but I do appreciate a good orchestra, and this one definitely was pretty good. But I mean, I don't really have much to say on it, so yeah. All in all, it was all right.
Yeah, and that's a fair opinion. I guess I kind of, well, that, well, not that I didn't think that through, but that I kind of, you kind of forget a little bit
Yeah.
when it's like part of like like a soundtrack for a certain movie or that. You kind of forget like, oh, you love this song, but then you kind of forget when you show it to other people that they don't have the same like context.
Exactly.
But I kind of also felt like that the Star Wars music was also like that it's super well put together enough that I felt like you get enjoyment out of just listening to them. You can appreciate them, but to get, yeah, you're right, to get the full appreciation.
It would definitely
But
help if I saw like the actual scene where the song was playing. I think if I had that, I would probably have like a better judgment of like, like, oh, that went really good with that scene, so that's I see where they're going with it, and therefore, I would be able to have like a better way of judging it. But yeah, it's what it is.
yeah, especially like as I was talking about like the Emperor's theme with that
Mhm.
haunting. You remember that like really that haunting. That's the only way I could think to describe it. That haunting last part. I said haunting like 20 times. Take a shot every time I repeat the same word. I stumble. Yeah, you're all dead of alcohol poisoning. Um, but it really augments like the scenes with the Emperor. Like
Mhm.
when that one, oh well, I guess yeah, he was confirmed in the trailers. So like that was the one thing that was in my head because Rise of Skywalker, that theme played when the Emperor was on screen too.
Right.
The trailers. And also because like even it's like, well, they didn't physically see him. It's like, you really think that Disney's stupid enough to tease someone that important and then be like, ha, nope. That would have literally been suicide for the movie if they did that. It's like, tease this really awesome character everyone's hyped for, and oh yeah, they're not actually in the movie. That'd be that's something Disney isn't stupid enough to do. So yeah, it's the music really goes a long way to like augment that. And the Imperial March, as you were kind of saying, it's like it's used in like really great like to in examples that show the might of the Empire,
Mhm.
that emphasize the power they have, and like these are the bad guys, they have all the power.
Right.
It's really just, it's strong, and it does in a way, yeah, demand attention. And it's probably one of the most liked songs of all the soundtracks across all the movies. It's just so well put together
Mhm.
and performed, and it just sticks with you. Or imagine myself like in the Star Wars universe, I'd 100% have someone with like a Star Wars equivalent to a boombox there, and I'm gonna walk onto the bridge of a Star Destroyer, and they're gonna start that music up as I'm walking down the command bridge.
Nice.
Which actually, in Solo, it's now canon that the Imperial March is actually the Imperial theme song in the actual universe. Well, one recruitment ad is playing outside the recruitment center, has the Imperial March, and I was like, that's kind of cool. I could just imagine an actual like in-universe parade with that music blaring. And I'd be like, oh, I want to see that now. I mean, I guess you could probably see it with like members of the 501st, the live cosplay people. Cosplays.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, actually, cool fact. I know we're kind of cutting into things, but they actually used in the new TV show The Mandalorian, all the stormtroopers in it are actually members of like the 501st, like these live action like cosplayers, and they actually like, because these guys like really get into like their role, like they act like stormtroopers, so they actually act more like stormtroopers than the actors who originally played stormtroopers, because they actually like they get into the role,
Right.
which I think is really awesome that they used these fans and these people who are they're fans, and they're also like the perfect choice for these roles. It's just it's one of the things that Disney's did right is utilizing that, which is just that they show that kind of recognition of the dedication and the love that so many fans have for the franchise. But yeah, I think that just about finishes things up. Got anything you want to close off with?
I guess the only thing that I have to mention or anything at all is I'm going to be doing my very first ever my very first ever, as I'm hosting apparently, in my Discord next week. I'm going to be doing a movie night, actually. I'm going with a TV show, actually. Movie night's just kind of like the umbrella term I'm just going to be using for this. So it's going to be like the first time ever doing something like this. I've done movie nights before with Dead, watching anime, but this is going to be like the first one to where I'm hosting it and I have like control over what is going to be going down. I don't know how exactly it's going to go, but I am planning on doing that in Discord, in my channel, in my Discord channel, and we'll just like get together. Anyone's welcome to come as long as you're in my Discord. We'll just jump in. I don't know what time I'm going to be doing it, but I originally thought for this one we are going to be doing it on the 27th. Because I originally thought, well, let's do it the day before the actual podcast, because next week I would like to do a podcast if I could on the 28th. So I thought, let's do a movie night in Discord on the 27th. But then I started thinking, well, if we do it after the podcast, we might be able to get some people to stop by from the actual podcast, and I thought that would be really awesome. And so yeah, basically I have that planned to go next week. I have everything set and ready to go. It's just we gotta actually make it happen. So I'm really looking forward to that. I want it to become a thing, hopefully, but we'll see what happens. It's gonna be the first one, so I'm going to be checking that out. Also, my next week schedule is going to be like very wonky because I'm sticking to my usual schedule of every Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, but also next week I also want to do a stream on Tuesday as well. So basically I got something going on almost every single day. It seemed like obviously Sunday I'm going to be streaming, and then Tuesday I'm going to be doing a stream, Wednesday stream, and then movie night in Discord on the 27th, and then through the weekend I'm also going to be streaming as well. So it's going to be very wonky. It's just a one-time only thing. I actually have been doing it every year, but anyway, it's going to be a thing. So I'm just kind of looking forward to next week and just kind of see how it goes. If you're curious about the show we're going to be seeing, we're going to be watching Upright Citizens Brigade. It's one of my favorite shows to ever watch, and I tried looking up online and I can't find it, so I ended up using my DVDs, and I did actually get that onto a particular site, and we're probably going to be going with that. So it's like my semi-used channel. If I get taken down because of it, it's so be it. I mean, it's not tied to my YouTube or Twitch channel, so we'll just see what happens and see how it goes. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and see how it goes next week. So it's going to be it.
All right. So that's awesome. That should be that link should work, I think, to Liv's Discord.
I think I got a command for it. I think it's !point Discord. See if that works. Yeah, there you go. Bam, there you go. Yeah, that's to my Discord. Anyone's welcome. We're just gonna jump into a voice channel and just see what happens.
Yeah, so I don't really have any last things to say other than hope my computer problems get fixed a bit. Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
I'll be able to stream. I don't know. I'll try and remember to keep in touch, or try and announce literally anything.
I guess I'll go ahead and send this off here.
Yeah,
right.
just you do the send off. Yeah, why not?
Well, it's just for those that don't know, usually it would be Dark on his channel doing all of this. So because I'm kind of monitoring the controls here, I guess I've got to go ahead and send off. And basically, obviously, hopefully Dark gets his stuff sorted out there and with his PC. Hopefully it will go well, but we'll see what happens. Of course, like I said, I got my movie night going next week on the 27th on Friday, and yeah, been a huge pleasure entertaining you guys with all of this. We really do appreciate all you guys coming out, and even if you do miss the podcast, obviously you could go to my YouTube channel. It should, I think now there's been an update on YouTube, so I think once the video is done processing, it immediately uploads to YouTube automatically. So yeah, so this is pretty much going to be going live the second I hit stop. So, but I am going to be, the stream is going to come down and it's going to come back up. I'm probably going to play some music and hang out with Dark for a little bit, kind of say our goodbyes, and then I'm going to be doing a spoiler cast of RDR2 because I really, really love that game and I really want to like just be a fanboy and just completely go over everything. So again, me and Dark, we do thank you guys very much for hanging out with us, and we might see you guys next week if Dark's schedule is clear for the 28th. Otherwise, we'll just have to just skip the podcast for next week and just push it to the next. But hopefully we'll be able to get a podcast next week, and we'll see you guys then for another one. So guys, appreciate it. Again, stream's going to go down and it'll come back up with some music, and we'll see you guys hopefully next week. Bye everybody.